So, Elden Ring. It's gotten a lot of awards last year, but does it deserve it? Fuck no, this game is garbage. Or at least, that was my opinion when I started playing. Before I get into why I had this delusional opinion, let me explain my Souls-like track record to you. I have played exactly 0 Souls-like games. In fact, the hardest single-player game experience I've ever had was probably Super Mario Galaxy, so I've never been challenged in games before. Only mentally challenged. Which is probably also why I had this terrible opinion. When I started playing this game, I came in with the mindset that I would roll this game. But the only thing that got rolled was my class. Reroll to be specific. I got my ass handed to me so hard for hours that I swapped classes 3 times. I was under the illusion that an elite gamer, such as myself, couldn't be this terrible at a game. I mean, I play games way too many hours a day. There was truly just no way that I could be bad at something like this. Elden Ring, however, drove me to the edge of my sanity. I was mad, angry and pissed off at how hard I got destroyed. Just to give you a portrayal, I spent a full hour trying to beat some slightly stronger than normal mob. For a full hour, I got my skull bashed in by an enemy that isn't really supposed to be a challenge, nor required to beat. In my mind, this guy was the first boss I fought. So when I got no loot from him, I lost even more of my sanity. It was this easy all this time. Really. He doesn't even drop anything. After killing this field boss, however, I decided to just explore and came across my very first dungeon. This dungeon held the first real boss that I was going to fight. I got my ass beat try after try after try. But something started to happen. At this point, I had accepted that I was utter garbage at this game. But this dungeon was about to be my character improvement arc. When I started, I barely even knew what dodge rolls were, let alone that they had invulnerability frames. And on top of that, I was a greedy bastard that tried to get hits in when I knew I shouldn't. But after being locked up with this terrifying creature for an hour and a half, I started seeing improvements. But to actually dodge and block attacks was technically weaving in hits and chipping the boss down, until finally, I had won. At this point, the rewards were just an afterthought. Just a pure sense of achievement and victory was so intense, it was way better than anything they could have given me, and all that from a simple video game. My opinion, at this point, changed. With that change, I also started to take my time while playing, and I began to notice the beautiful world the developers from From Software had created around me. From the hidden dungeons, the scenery, and the frightening creatures within it. And at this point, it was just fun to explore and fight the bosses you found whilst doing so. The bosses were just genuinely fun and unique, and after every encounter, you start to look forward to what the developers come up with next. The last thing I would like to give some attention to is the message system. In this game, you can leave messages for other people that can be read by walking up to the white squiggly lines on the floor. This is such a simple addition, but I personally really felt like it gave a weird sense of community when everyone kept using the same stupid inside jokes from the game to describe things. So, in conclusion, was my title complete clickbait? Kinda. The game did feel really hard to play when I started, and I did almost give up. But do I think the game should be easier for beginners? Fuck no. Those losers have to suffer just like I had. And you might feel or have felt the same starting out on your adventure as I did in the beginning of this video. But if you haven't played this game yet, I would truly advise you to do so, because all the praise and awards Elden Ring got were deserved. This was the end of the video. I hope to see you next week.